I think probably it's like a conglomerate of times that I have sat on his back porch, sometimes because I have questions for him, and sometimes because I've been invited to sit there, and he holds court there more than he does in his office.
Mark Tazelaar in Dordt College, or now Dordt University. He's been here long enough to see the change. Mark and I started together at Dordt University 25 years ago. It was 1997. Both of us pulled up to Sioux Center with our young families. He continued on at Dordt throughout those 25 years. I've had some other things and come back. But I want to say thank you, Mark, for your service here, and Barb as well. Joining the Dordt University family with your work, as well as supporting Mark in his 25-year career teaching philosophy.
He gives you screwdrivers when you've never seen a screw before, and you're like, what? Dad, I don't understand what I'm going to do with this. And then 3 weeks down the road, a couple months down the road, you finally find a screw, and you're like, Taz, how did you know I was going to run into this issue, or how was I going to run into this problem?
One thing for Mark, he always would sort of talk about what's at stake. And I think that it was part of his philosophical mindset, and I think it's part of what he then sort of gave to us as students and still really demands of everybody else in the world, like what's at stake.
His willingness to ask hard questions is something that I aspire to, and I think I learned a lot about that from him. He's also really good at self-interrogation, which is something that it's been really nice to see modeled by somebody like him. So I hope he keeps doing that, and I hope people keep learning from that, and mostly I just hope he and Barb enjoy life after Dordt.
Teaching literally thousands of students through what's now Core 200, Introduction to Christian Philosophy. Mark, you set a foundation for the core program that was important for all of us, and you've blessed thousands of students. But then I also know the individual students that you spend time with in your office, on campus, or even on your porch at your home. Those students that you mentored that were interested in philosophy a little more deeply than maybe the average student, and I know you've blessed them richly as well. We're glad to share this video of memories of them and your colleagues with you as you head into retirement.
Over the summer, I went over to his porch. It was going to be like I think a 30-minute, I was doing some summer research for him. It was just going to be a short little question, clarifying question about like what I'm doing for him. And we ended up talking and sitting on his porch. And I went over at like 12:30 expecting to go back home by 1. And then I actually got home at 5:30. Because we had just kept talking and talking. And whenever you talk to Taz, you realize how vast his knowledge is from poetry. He reads just about everything. So I just sort of sat as a loyal disciple on his porch, absorbing everything I could.
I've always appreciated the way he would just kind of sit and listen to a conversation. There'd often be like a table of people, and everybody would just be talking and talking, and then all of a sudden Taz would enter the conversation sort of slowly and thoughtfully, and you could sort of tell he had been listening and mulling things over the whole time, and usually came in with some pretty wise things to say.
I mean, I wish him the best, and I hope he keeps philosophizing, and I hope he finds a nice place in Florida pretty soon or something to get out of the winter. And I hope he knows how much people love him and how helpful he has been to lots of people in the way that they think about the way that the world works or the way the world doesn't work.
I mean, I like the fact that I've been a colleague of Mark's and I've been a student of his, so I've kind of known him just sort of from different angles and different perspectives. I would say that Taz and Henderson, they did student engagement before student engagement was cool, and we just hung out a lot. We had this community of people, and we would often just sit around a fire, till late at night, eating strange foods, maybe sheep that Roger Henderson had butchered himself, and just talking and being like lived out, like a lived out philosophical experience. That's definitely something that I really appreciated about Mark as a teacher. Yeah, it wasn't just about the classroom. It really was about this whole life experience.
So Mark and Barb, as you look forward to what God has next in this phase of your life, we wish you every blessing, and we want to say thank you for your service here to the King because of your work at Dordt University. God's blessings to you.